Hashtag TurnUpNowRadio with your girl A Rocky. Tune in and get the latest. I'm going in on everything. Celebrities, entertainment, music, movies, fashion, politics, news, and sports. It's gonna be raw and uncut. I'm telling it like it is. The newest, hottest radio show on the web. Listen on your cell phone, tablet, and computer. Wherever you are, hashtag TurnUpNowRadio is turning up with you. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Hashtag TurnUpNowRadio. This is A Rocky with hashtag TurnUpNowRadio. Make sure you get at me on Twitter, twitter.com/TurnUpNowRadio. Send me a message about anything you want. Also, give me a call at 8304-TURN-UP. That's 8304-TURN-UP. Let me know your comment and make sure you leave your Twitter name for a chance for your comment and your Twitter name to be broadcast live on my next show. Okay, today we're going to talk about racism. Racism, it is prevalent still here in America. First, let's get into the definition. And I'm going to talk about a few things, and I'm going to also tell you what I think about racism and why I think racism exists. But first, here's the definition. We hear the word racism a lot, but here is a bona fide definition that I got from the dictionary. All right, racism, a belief or doctrine that inherent differences among the various human racial groups determine cultural or individual achievement, usually involving the idea that one's own race is superior and has the right to dominate others, or that a particular racial group is inferior to others. All right, that's the bona fide definition. So, recently in the news, Tony Robinson, a 19-year-old who was fatally shot and killed by a Wisconsin police officer in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, this 19-year-old was unarmed. Okay, this story just seems to keep repeating itself. We had Trayvon Martin, we had Michael Brown, we've had several others. I remember the other child who was shot dead, who had a toy gun in the park. I mean, this story just keeps repeating itself. Protesters filled the Capitol, and they are actually in the rotunda. I mean, they are deep. It's a lot of people in there just protesting the racial profiling, the erroneous killings that's just been going on. What's the difference with unarmed versus armed? So here you have Tony Robinson, an unarmed person who was killed by an armed person. Now, here's my perspective. I don't care if you are acting crazy or wild. If you don't have a weapon in your hand, a gun, or some type of deadly weapon, there is no excuse to fatally kill someone. Let me say that again. If you are unarmed, you don't have a gun, you don't have a deadly weapon in your hand, there is no excuse to fatally kill someone. We're talking about professionals here who have extensive training. Police should have extensive training, and they have more training probably than the average person out there. So they should be able to handle situations, whatever it may be, that you can put a situation under control without using deadly force if the person is unarmed. I just don't see any excuse for that. I don't. It just doesn't add up to me. A gun, no gun. I just don't see a reason for someone to be fatally shot and killed if they absolutely are unarmed. Just doesn't make sense. Racism exists in America. Actually, racism exists all around the world. Let's face it. You have different cultures. You have different backgrounds where, for example, it may be in another country, one tribe feels like they're better than another tribe. If you are a certain shade of color, you are better than the person who is a different shade of color. So racism is not just limited to America. It is everywhere. But I'm talking about America. I think we all can recall some remarks made by, was it Giuliani, that President Obama doesn't love America. I was offended. I mean, it went beyond being offended. I just thought, quite frankly, I thought the comment was just stupid. It was a dumb comment, point blank, period. I'll tell you why I think it was absolutely dumb. I was shocked that he said it. It kind of reminds me of, you remember when you was growing up and you was maybe in elementary school or something like that, and maybe you got into an argument or something like that with another classmate. You were young and you really couldn't really reason too well. You know, for example, let's say somebody made you mad and you talked about their mother. Oh, your mother's so fat, that's why your mother ugly. You know, stuff like that. As an adult, you look at that and you know that is just coming from a place of an emotion that really is just, you don't know how to steer your emotion. That's what I thought about the comment from Giuliani about President Obama not being American. How could you possibly say that? You're talking about somebody who is the president of the United States for going on, it's going to be 8 years. Does that sound like somebody that doesn't love America? I mean, just think about it for a second. I think a kindergartner can figure that out. If you don't love America, why would you want to be the president of the United States of America? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So to me, it just comes from a place of emotion, and a lot of the racism I think that goes on and that we see stems from the definition that I read. Personally, I think that racism pretty much is you have one racial background that is, it's out of fear. It's out of fear. Out of fear of what, you may say. I say out of fear of everything. For example, jobs. You know, okay, we're not going to hire this person or that because, you know, I don't know. It's greed. I guess maybe you think, oh, somebody's going to take all the money, take all the jobs. You know, they're going to have the same that you have. It just comes from something that, you know, like the definition said, it spelled it out perfectly. A belief or doctrine that inherent differences among the various human racial groups determine cultural or individual achievement, usually involving the idea that one's own race is superior and has the right to dominate others, or that a particular racial group is inferior. That is racism. It comes from a place of fear, that, oh my gosh, if someone else is getting a job like I have, or if they have this, or it's out of fear. And like I said, it's nothing new under the sun. We've seen this repeat itself over and over again in history. Look at the Holocaust. Look at different things like that. People, you know, they when they operate out of fear, they do a lot of unreasonable things. They really do. And I just don't get it. We are all humans. We're all humans. It's not like we are totally from some other planet. It's mind-boggling to me. I mean, we talk, we eat, we go to sleep, we walk. I mean, the only difference is maybe the color of our skin. I don't know if you listened to President Obama's wonderful speech that he gave. Actually, it was the day before Bloody Sunday. Bloody Sunday just happened, as we know, marking the 50th anniversary of the Selma riots. I don't know if you saw that speech, but that speech was perfect. I absolutely loved that speech. President Obama, if you looked at it, there was no teleprompter. He was speaking from the heart. I mean, he hit every nail that he could hit. And I do like and agree when he said that we would be lying to ourselves. I'm kind of rephrasing it, but we would be lying to ourselves to say if we have not seen any change. Because we have. One of them, like he mentioned, was the law. You think back 50 years ago is really not that long ago. 50 years? You're talking about people could not even vote. Black people could not vote. You're talking about black people had to sit in the back of the bus. You can't even drink out of the same water fountain. I was talking to my mother. We watched the speech together. She was telling me about how when she was coming up as a little girl, you had to sit in the back of the bus. You could not drink out of the same water fountain. So, because I asked her, I said, you know, some of the stuff that happened back in Selma and things that are going on. I mean, did you see any of this stuff? And of course she did. And this is my mother who is still alive. So that lets you know that this is really not that long ago that these laws, they were laws. It's not about, I think I should sit in the front of the bus. The law was you will sit in the back of the bus. The law was you cannot vote. So for those people who were able to change the law, I mean, my hat goes off to them. People like Martin Luther King, people like John Lewis, who bless his heart, he is still alive today. He is a congressman. That to me is just mind-blowing. He was there fighting for rights, and now he is a part to make sure that our rights still stand. I just looked at that whole speech that President Obama did and watching them walk over that bridge. Now, I saw the movie Selma. I remember that whole scene when they marched on the bridge. It was just crazy. It's just terrible. It's embarrassing, really, to see how other humans can treat other humans. It's embarrassing because we're all human. This is what I don't get. It's not like somebody is made out of gold. It's not like you made out of gold and I'm not. We all bleed the same color, red. We all, if you don't eat, you're going to be hungry. It's just that whole fear of not wanting your race to be inferior. It's holding us back. I think racism holds us back. But all these things that's been going on in the news lets me know that although the laws have changed, people's minds and hearts, some of them have not. That is the root. That is the root of the problem. And I agree with President Obama that we still have a ways to go. We cannot dismiss that change has not occurred, but we still have ways to go. And I commend him for going to places like Ferguson, looking into the police department, because I'm here to tell you, Ferguson is just one police department. There are several police departments in America that are just like that. It's that type of racism that happens behind closed doors, just because it's not really talked about in public like it was 50 years ago, although there are still some areas that have no shame in their game and they will be racist to your face and say racist things. But behind closed doors, when they released all the different comments that was said on email, totally being disrespectful. It's like I said, it goes back to when we were kids in elementary school. You don't know how to steer your emotion, so you steer it out of fear, out of bigotry. So that's my thought on that. So here's my question. How do we get rid of racism? How do we do that? Can we do that? I want to know. Tell me. Post a comment at the bottom of this video. Let me know what you think. I don't have a complete answer. I know that you have to get to the root of it. Laws, peaceful protests, all that definitely plays a part. But the root of it is trying to get that racist conversation that occurs in the homes, in the workplace, when the office doors close and it's time for decision making and things of that nature. That is the root. If you don't pull the roots up of racism, we are in for a long haul. Anyways, that's what I think. I want to know what you think. Get at me. Call me 8304-TURN-UP. Get at me on Twitter, twitter.com/TurnUpNowRadio. And make sure you subscribe so you can get the latest 411.